Hello everyone, today I'm gonna explain LeetCode SQL Solutions problem names average selling price. Let's see the problems first together. First, we have to write a solution to find the average selling price for each product. There is also one condition that the average price should be rounded to decimal places. And there's one condition, and second condition is if a product does not have any sold units, its average selling price is assumed to be 0. So that's the second condition. So we can return the result table in any order. So let's see the examples together how to approach this problem. So first, there is a price table and there's unit sold table. I think this table is about the product and the price of each product, and unit sold table is there's also product ID and how many units was sold, and there's also a purchase date. So what we want to do, we want to do it like this. There will be a total price product, and there also will be a number of product units sold, unit sold. So there is, for example, there is product ID. For example, product ID 1, total price product is, as you can see, is 5 multiple 100. So we can write 100 5 multiple, and it will be 500. And num sold is, I think, you have to, for example, also there is a product ID 1 of price and units like this, and this is 20 multiple 15, so it is, I think, 300, right? So this total is, I think, all total is 800. And number of units sold is, we have to count it this whole together, so it will be 115. And so what we have to do, calculate it, is we have to divide this one and this one. So 800 divided 115, and if you represent it as 2 decimal places, it will be 6.96. That's the explanation. What that is represent, that's how we calculate it. So I'm gonna explain it, how to approach and solve this problem. Let's move on to the solution page. So how can we, the first approach that we have to make, how we make like this output table. I think first approach, we have to use a join, and the key of each table will be, I think, product ID is the same, so we're gonna use product ID as a key. And second condition is, that is also important, we have to find the purchase date is on start date and end date. So also we're gonna find, we're gonna use join as key, and we're gonna do it like this, like purchase date between start date and end date. So it will be matching like this. Purchase date is on, for example, 2019 February 25 will be included in this column. So we're gonna connect it like this. And third part is how we connect, how we gonna calculate the average prices. The way to do it is simple. We just use aggregate function. First, we're gonna use group by. Group by will be product ID, and we're gonna use sum aggregate function, and we're gonna price multiple units, and we're gonna divide it as sum of units sold like this. I think this third step is the step that we gonna approach. So I think it's better to show you guys on the screen to write the query. So let's move on to write the query together. So let's write a query together. So the first step we're gonna approach to this, I think we have to do in join first. So let's approach like this. Select from. I'm gonna use prices table. And I'm gonna use left join. The reason I use left join because there is assumption that there will be no selling price unit sold just in case. So I'm gonna use left join. If there is no solding units of something, it will be represented as null. So I'm gonna use left join and units sold, and I'm gonna alias like this SP, and I'm gonna call it US, and I'm gonna join it using a product ID. So p.product ID and us.product ID. The second step, what I told you guys, the second step is first was join. I'm gonna write it down. And second step is we have to calculate it. We have to get it. The purchase date is in between start date and end date. So we're gonna select only purchase date. Purchase date is in between start date and end date here. So I'm gonna use it here also, and I'm gonna do it like this. us.purchase date between start date p.start date and end date. So it will just only gonna connect that purchase date is on between start date and end date. So so what column do I want? I'm gonna show you guys first product ID, and second one, I think I have to show everything first. Yeah, I think everything first. I'm gonna show you guys what's the result of this one. So let's see the case one. So as you can see, there is product ID and start date, end date, and it connected to the product ID using the key like 1 and 1. And as you can see, it also connected purchase date. Like for example, 2019 February 25 is in between February 17 and February 28. So it automatically connected to this row. So it connected like this. So in here, what we want to print is product ID. And I'm gonna print also, I think, price will be okay, and us.units. And I'm gonna call it total, what we want to call total price as, I'm gonna show you guys like this. So this will be p.price, I think, and us.units as we call it as total prices. So I'm gonna run it like this. So it will show product ID and price and units, and the total price is price multiple of units of each row. So in here, the third step is I'm gonna use a subquery. First, I'm gonna use group by, and I'm gonna calculate the average price. So here I'm gonna use select from. I'm gonna show you guys more bigger from here, and I'm gonna call it subquery, and I'm gonna make it more prettier like this, and I'm gonna use group by. So we're gonna group by product ID, and here is one thing. There is also one condition that there will be if there is no any sold unit, it will be assumed to be 0. So what we have to do, we have to use case when if sum of units is not 0, then we're gonna calculate it like this: the sum of total price divided of sum of units like this. And we have to also, there's one condition that we have to round it in 2 decimal places, so we have to do it like this. Yep, units, I think this one. Yep, yeah, like this. And I'm gonna call it it also. So if else, we have to represent it as 0, and we're gonna call it average price. So what I did, if there is some units are not 0, we're gonna represent it as what we want, average price, else it will be just represented as 0, and I'm gonna call it average price. Let's run the code. Yeah, all test cases are succeeded, so let's submit the code. Yep, it worked, it succeeded. So if I think this is the first way, there's also more, it's the same way, but there's also more simplest way. What we can do, I'm gonna show you guys more simple ways. That is, we are not using subquery. That's what we can do. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start this one. So left join is also same, but I'm gonna just do it like this. I'm gonna just group by p.product ID, and let's do it like this. Just we do it sum, and we're gonna do it like this. P dot what was it? P dot price multiple US dot units, and it will be divided as sum of US dot units, and also it will be just rounded 2 decimal places like this, and we're gonna call it average price like this. And we just use also case when some units are not 0, then we do it like this, else 0, and that is also the same query that we wanted to write. Yeah, all test cases also succeeded, and I'm gonna submit the code. Yeah, that's also, it worked. Why I did the first way, the second way is more simple, but why I did that first way is it is a little bit hard to understand just the whole like this, so it'll be much easier for you guys to following step by step. So, and then I'm show you the more simple and easiest way that is not using subquery. So yeah, we can, I think it is better to organize the whole key point of this problem. So let's move on to the key point section. So I think we can organize of key point of this one is, so what was the difficult thing was first, and there is second difficult one. The first difficult one was how we find purchase date. Purchase date is in between start date and end date. So what you guys also, what I learned is we can use join, and also we can connect the key of it using between A and B clauses, so you can write it like purchase date. So like this, like on, so purchase date between start date and end date. I think it is important that there's a concept that we can use join key also, not only just product ID like this, also we can join it like using a date, and we can use between clauses in here also. That is what we learned. First one, I think we can solve it like this. And second difficult thing was how we calculate the average prices, and also what was difficult is how we deal with if a unit sold is 0. So what was the approach was we use case when. So when a sum of units is not 0, you can also use it is not null, then we're gonna just print it the sum of total price divided total units sold, as we did. Then else we're gonna just print it as 0. I think this approach is to solve it of how we deal with the unit sold 0 condition. I think this is the whole point and the key point of this problem. Thank you for watching this video.